Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly update on the markets and stocks that I'm covering and news related to the stocks. And in this video I will be covering NIO, Huami and Baidu Stock, as well as two new stocks that I was trading last week. And if you enjoy this kind of updates, then please give this video a quick like, and then let's just dive into the NASDAQ 100, which has reached new all-time highs here and is currently trading in this channel. And yeah, in the last week it has bounced off the support level here and making new gains, and now we are in a territory where we don't really know if it's going even much up further or if we first bounce back to the support level here and hopefully then find another way, another leg upside from here. Currently, it seems to me that we do have some potential and some more room to grow actually before we have another correction, because we're like in the lower end here of this bigger channel. And in general, I'm not worried about a bigger correction. I do think that the markets will continue to grow as we're getting through this earnings season and more news hopefully about the economic recovery. And as outlined in my last videos, I have actually shifted a little bit of my money from value stocks back into growth stocks. I was using this rotation in money of the index funds between the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 to shift more money into the growth stocks, and actually also in NIO and Tesla, which has worked out well and is well documented here on my channel. So pretty happy with my change in the strategy here so far. It's going really well. And let's now talk about some big news and actually negative news about one of my investments, which is Huami, ticker symbol HMI, a player in the healthcare and fitness industry, which is doing wearables and kind of a competitor to Fitbit, Garmin, and also Peloton in some ways. And as mentioned before, I'm having an investment here because I want to be a long-term investor in this company, because I do think that the healthcare market in China is quite interesting. However, yesterday we had the Q2 earnings of Huami and it showed that they are going through a little bit of a struggle here. So yesterday after the earnings we had this huge sell-off here, which is kind of unfortunate because we really had a very nice run up into the earnings with 36% of the gains, and now most of the gains are actually gone. However, it was interesting to see yesterday to see some support at the $13 marks level, and once again at the $13.3 marks level. So it was interesting to see that although the stock tanked around 14% at the very beginning, in the end it closed with minus 8.3%, so not that bad at all, given the fact that the earnings have shown that Huami is currently having some issues on the profitability side, so as well as it's not as fast growing as we have been assuming so far. So in my point of view, yes, the earnings weren't as good as I was expecting. I was hoping for material news on the Xiaomi cooperation agreement. We only heard by the management that it's likely to continue. At the same time, I was hoping to see a little bit more revenues as well as a 10% EBIT margin, and we didn't see that, so I can totally understand why the stock has been crashing down. However, it doesn't change my initial investment hypothesis. It doesn't change my outlook that it's currently undervalued. However, I will be making some changes to my guidance here and also dive more into what's currently happening under the radar here, and we'll make a separate video on that. What is, however, interesting in terms of news related to Huami is that they announced a new brand which is called SAP, which is a more premium branded product lineup, which I will be covering in my next video as well as their announcement that they are cooperating with Aspen Imaging Healthcare Technologies. So this is official news of Huami partnering with this portable X-ray device manufacturer in the US, which will be interesting to see what could be the outlines and the future prospects of this kind of collaboration. So maybe these two news were actually why investors didn't completely sell off Huami, even though today they are under pressure once again. However, as mentioned before, it didn't change my mind about my investment here in Huami, although the financials and the fundamentals here definitely have taken a hit. Now let's move on to NIO, and I have been covering Tesla this week because they have been rallying on news about China demand, and obviously this is also positive news for NIO, of course, and we see it in the stock price. So even though NIO was beaten down around 15% after the earnings, the stock has now nicely recovered and is now also back and trading in this channel here. So possibly we will see a wedge pattern forming here with the resistance of $15 a share. So it will be interesting to see like if the support levels are holding up here nicely and whether or not NIO will be able to break through the $15 a share soon. I think this will be largely depending on the overall markets as well as what Tesla will be doing, because there isn't too much news to cover about NIO, despite the fact that battery as a service will be officially launching, and some personal changes here which I think quite interesting, because NIO is naming a new head of self-driving, which is actually Ren Xiaojing. So he is one of the co-founders of Momenta AI. And Momenta AI is an interesting startup in China because they're trying to solve self-driving through camera-based software solutions. So this is also a vision-based approach, similarly to what Tesla is doing. And now that this founder of this startup is actually joining NIO, and actually that startup was supported by NIO Capital before, is an interesting move. Although now Jamie Carlson, who has been NIO's AV tech lead since 2016, is now actually joining Apple. But anyways, this is good news because it seems that NIO is picking up speed once again on their autonomous vehicle development. NIO has been lagging here a little bit. NIO Pilot, as announced in the earnings call, has only a take rate of around 25%, which is lower than Tesla's. And also in the industry comparison, NIO Pilot is doing quite well. However, also Xiaopeng and also others like Li Xiang are actually putting some pressure on here. On top of that, there are new NIO hirings made in California regarding to autonomous vehicles. So all in all, it seems like NIO is now pushing that and possibly ramping up their autonomous team together with their collaboration with Mobileye. Then let's take a quick look at Baidu Stock, which I've been already covering in a video before because their earnings haven't been really inspiring as well, and also a little bit disappointing on my side. However, I'm also holding here onto my position, and interestingly, after they've been beaten down right after the earnings, we see also a big up move once again, reaching over this support level now, so it could find back actually into this upward trend here and possibly actually forming a new wedge pattern. So if the stock continues to trade within this, we might actually at some point see a breakout above the $135 a share level. And this is really interesting to see it despite the bad earnings of Baidu and not much outlook by the management. We see that investors are coming back and crawling in. Maybe also the buyback program of Baidu Stock has an effect here, but generally it's kind of supporting my views that there is much more upside potential right now than downside, because the stock is also quite beaten down in the last couple of years. So yeah, I'm gonna hold on strong to that and still hope that we see much more interesting news coming out on the healthcare segment here and less so on the advertisement front of Baidu. And last but not least, let's talk about two new stocks that I have taken some positions, and my patrons already know about them because these are the Robinhood of China. Two stocks, Futu Holding, which is backed by Tencent, as well as Tiger Brokers, which is actually also partly backed by Interactive Brokers. And well, both of those companies had their earning reports and both of them actually were losing out on their stock price a little bit just right after the earnings, which is interesting to see because those two stocks are actually growing massively. The companies are growing sometimes more than 100% in terms of revenue as well as on user acquisition. So pretty interesting stocks here, and in a future video I will actually be diving much more deeper into what they are doing, where they are today, as well as what is my future outlook on them and why I'm taking positions on them. So yeah, that's it with a quick overview about some stock movements as well as some news associated to them. Let me know in the comment down below what you think about it, and also please smash the like button once again and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy those weekly updates as well as more deeply researched videos on Tesla, on NIO, as well as some other Chinese stocks that are IPOing or tech companies from China. So thank you guys for watching, have a great week and see you next time. Bye bye.